Hello and welcome to my channel once again. And this is me, your humble host, Emmanuel. I want to use this opportunity to briefly address our brother Yul Edochie, the last of the five sons of uh, Ebubedike Chief Pete Edochie. Um, a lot has been trending about him. Probably he's enjoying the sudden popularity his recent action is bringing up. Well, he's an adult, and one of my friends once said that when an adult acts in the way he likes or she likes, he doesn't usually have problem with that, but he has problem with such an adult when he refuses to bear the consequence of those actions. Yole Dochie is a very handsome young man, very ebullient and probably rich. Of course, you cannot be poor in the Nigerian environment and you are seeking for presidential uh, election. So at least that shows, I mean, for anybody to aspire to be a Nigerian president in our current dispensation, you must have some money in your account. So probably he does. And he thinks that once you have the money and you are a man, you can do whatever you want. In my previous video, I tried to exonerate Chief Peter Dochie, his dad, because everybody is throwing tantrums on the old man for the action of his son. I had two bloggers, two young ladies who were almost insulting the man and telling him that he thinks he has sense. And he says, "Sir, you don't." I think for me, uh, judging from where I come from, that's an insult because these girls are only old enough to just be daughters to Chief Edochie. Uh, it's made worse by the fact that they are even misunderstanding his position. Chief Edochie has not shown in any uh, dint of imagination that he supported Yul to go and take a second wife, uh, and in the way and manner he did it. If he was in support, why wasn't he there? People don't even think properly. Yul is the fifth son of Chief Edochie, you know, and Chief Edochie himself is not a polygamist. He's a rich man. If he wanted to uh, marry more than one wife, he could easily have done that. But he didn't, and none of the other sons who are older than Yul is a polygamy. So there is no basis to judge Peter Doche the way those young ladies were judging him. That being said, Yul has posted in several uh, fora how much of a strong man he is, especially for being able to take responsibility of his action. But we know that sometimes there are certain things that force a man to take certain actions and they think they're in charge. So not all of us are sold to those illusions. But I am not here to analyze what's happening in his family. I'm just trying to you know address the part that concerns me as a man. I think it's an insult to say that the kind of things he is saying on the social media, that he's a man for betraying the trust of his 17-year-old marriage. He didn't care how the thing would affect his wife. He didn't set out to marry a second wife because of any circumstance. This woman has about 4 children for him. So what was he looking for? He has about 3 boys and 1 girl. So if he's looking for a boy to continue the family tree, as they say in Igbo land, that's a wrong, false narrative, because already he has three boys. If he really wanted a second wife and he was such a real man as he's claiming, what polygamists do is to discuss it with their wives, because lives are involved, my dear brother. Emotions are involved. Somebody has given you her life for 17 years. You can't just secretly go and impregnate a woman and secretly go and marry her, and your wife is only knowing on the pages of either newspaper or public media, and you say you're a man, you took responsibility. How dare you insult my sensibilities? That's not a real man. You're a coward. If you were a real man, you would discuss with your wife. Let her adjust to having the misfortune of sharing her heartthrob, whom she had devoted her life for 17 years or more to. You are so cowardly that you took the Appian way. You got her pregnant, and probably the pressure was on you to marry her. Most people think that you are under a spell or some pressure, because what you did is silly, stupid. You have siblings. Why were they not in your marriage? Show us the full picture of video of that marriage. Let's see your dad there. Let's see your uncles there. That's how marriages are done. They're not done under wraps like you did, and you think you're a man. How dare you come out to post that you're a man? You know what? One of the immediate consequences of your stupidity is that you have lost respect from more than 50% of your followers, and just forget about any ambition of being a president of Nigeria, because you are not likely to, go anywhere close to it, because you're unpredictable. What you have shown is that you can also betray the trust of anybody who dares to vote for you. You can even lead the country to war if it suits your personal selfish goals. That's what you have shown. So when you start posting nonsense and you know celebrating yourself, know that coming to the public means that you give all of us the right to process it and to judge your action. And for me, that is more of cowardice than you know a courageous man. What men do is they discuss with their wives, they let them know, they respect, they trust, and then they have an agreement and they go and bring the second wife. And then you start having children. You don't start with having children outside marriage and then doing damage control. So, my dear brother, what you are doing is to do damage control. You are not a dickhead like you claim to be. You are a coward. That's all I can tell you. I'm going to make this video short, but I will address you properly in this, because you gave me the opportunity to judge. If you had kept quiet and you were doing your things secretly as you started and quietly, nobody will even judge you. But look at you. Probably is the girl's chest that you couldn't resist. Because what the girl is doing is to flaunt her chest. Probably your wife doesn't have it as big as this new one. Why didn't you tell the wife that you needed a big distance so that she can either also to help you go and inflate it or agree with you before you do that action? So we are not fools, my dear. Don't tell us you're a man. You're not. You're a boy. You're a kid. A man grows up listening to his parents and then emulating them. Your father is a very successful person. So when you say that your dad is talking about his own generation, what do you mean by generation? It was your dad's generation that did more of polygamy, but why didn't he do that? Young men nowadays don't embrace polygamy because we think that our parents, the older generations, you know, didn't get it right. There are a lot of things that are associated with it, especially when it is not planned, when it doesn't have the blessing of all that are involved. Don't you know that there are people involved in your life? You are so selfish, so self-centered, and excuse me, stupid. If you had kept quiet, nobody would have said anything. Probably your wife would be suffering quietly. But look at this new girl now coming to dare to talk to her. What kind of audacity did you give to her? What is wrong with you? Please go and hide your face in shame and stop parading yourself as a dicky. Who born you? Get away, my friend. So what I'm trying to say here is that your actions are very annoying, and I can take a debate with you if you want. I wish you see this post and you can do a debate, respond to it, and let's talk. Okay? What you did is an act of cowardice. That's the least I can tell you. Bye for now.